All right. Good evening, Speed Gaming. Welcome to another Super Metroid Any Percent race tonight. My name is Exact Science. I'm joined by Valerian here, or Val here. We're going to be watching a really great race between ProfessorSchool and Nevdi. Val, welcome to the stream. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty darn well. Excited to see more Super Metroid going on. It was fun to see the old route going on before, and it's good to get into the just straight fast as we can go speed run as it is tournament match tonight.
Yeah, this is I'm sure gonna be a banger, folks. This is a losers bracket match, I believe, or a redemption bracket, as hockey would say. Both of these runners, very strong PRKD runners. Nevdi, mostly known for map randomizer and regular randomizer, probably, but also runs a very strong PRKD. ProfessorSchool actually just got a pretty massive PB, has a strong 43 now, which is very impressive time. But, this is PRKD, anything could happen. Either of these runners could take it.
Absolutely.
And
ProfessorSchool just got that PB, wasn't it like just yesterday?
yeah, I believe so. It was within the past couple of days. I'm pretty sure it was yesterday.
Yeah, so
And it was like a fairly massive PB.
yeah, I think it was like a 45-second gain over their last PB, so he's probably feeling really good off of that and confident coming into this. So, as we just saw in the other one, as we've seen in a lot of races so far, like I said, it can go any way, anything. A lot of things can happen because Super Metroid races, the personal tournament for fun, going for the best. There's so much that can happen, and that's what makes it exciting.
Absolutely, yeah. Especially with both players running PRKD. It's a route that it can be very volatile. You have all sorts of points where there can be massive time swings. You've got, of course, the moat. You've got, even Red Tower, but of course the moat, Bantoon, at Lower Norfair or Upper Norfair, despite not being dangerous, is a place you can lose a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, there's like the Lava Dive, whether you go for Lava Spark or not. I believe these two are both Lava Spark mains, which will be exciting. But
That would be good.
Lower Norfair is just so dangerous, so volatile. Ridley can screw you all kinds of different ways. And then after that, you go to Meridia. Like, really, the whole run is just full of like stumbling blocks and potential ways to lose tons of time that we'll have to see how these runners can deal with. So here we go, ProfessorSchool getting down to the planet. Nevdi a little bit behind on the restream, but we should get that synced up fairly soon.
Yeah, I did notice ProfessorSchool started just a little bit ahead of Nevdi, but their respective timers are going. So yeah, as soon as we get that resynced, it'll be a little easier to watch, but no real race integrity worries or anything going on.
Yeah. So I think that we're probably going to see a pretty standard early game here from both players. Both of them are Moonfallers here. We've got pit room here, elevator. We're going to go down, pick up our morph ball, of course. Very important thing coming up here. All right, ProfessorSchool has the pink morph. That's a strong start. Let's see.
Oh, one of each.
The yellow morph. All right, so I'm not sure how well that bodes for Nevdi right at the start here, but we'll have to see. Hopefully, he can turn this around.
I did see that, despite being a little desynced, ProfessorSchool got down. The elevator landed right at 3 minutes, and Nevdi at like 2:59. So they really are just within a hair of each other.
I mean, honestly, it probably comes down to that one pit the ProfessorSchool fell into on the way through pit room the first visit. Each one of those works out to about a 40 frame loss or so. And so All right. Prof, not doing the pit boost, but doing sort of the setup that still gets you through the room faster than stopping and shooting the pirates. Nevdi going for pit boost and missing it. So, so one of the things that I think is really, really cool to watch with runners of this skill level is that, Super Metroid is not a game where you can expect to do everything optimally. It's very, very difficult and grueling. And so much of being able to have a good time is your consistency at being able to do those backup strats. Like if you miss a ledge grab or miss a wall jump, like having a way to recover quickly and fluidly and not just kind of sit there panicking, which we've seen both of these runners have to do. Like we've seen some missed wall jumps and some missed ledge grabs, but it's honestly been like it still looked very, very clean despite those, and that's a testament to their skill and ability to, use those backup strats and just keep on rolling.
Yes, between all the RNG that we talked about, like you said, everything from Fantoon to Super Drops and Torian and everything else going on, but then all the execution that has to be done at every single level. There's probably a mini guide for every room that gets down to what you need to do every single time, and you have to execute all of that, but you're never going to have the perfect run. And then when you don't have it, what do? Like you said, backup strats, and probably backup for that backup. You got to have a plan C going on there.
Yeah, I mean, depending on the room, even a plan D or a plan E. Like this game can throw all kinds of stuff at you. Things can go wrong one after the other, and it's not about whether you can keep them from going wrong. It's whether you can. It's how you recover when they do, ultimately.
We did see that there was a good resync coming in, so we do have the timers should be just about matched up. I think they pretty much are, by my eyes. And yes, QZ, the third commentator in our stream tonight, listed among with Exact and myself, and providing the best commentary, letting us just sit and watch the game,
All right, so it looks like I know I saw ProfessorSchool do it. I think Nevdi did it as well. That door bonk setup into Terminator. If you bonk the door entering, it normalizes your movement, so you can just hold shot the whole time, buffer shots, and kill everything that's in your way. It's a little bit slower than the other strat, but it's very, very consistent and lets you get a drop if you need it. And now we're coming up to the first sequence break here. Oh, very nice mock ball from Nevdi.
Very, very smooth. And ProfessorSchool hitting it as well. So they're both. There was a little bit of a hiccup, ProfessorSchool coming into the door, and he is just a hair behind as he has to go through the little chime that we all know and love so well when you get every single item. But both of them executed that, like I said, that first sequence break very smooth, and we're really, really moving through Brinstar fast.
Yeah, and so far, it's interesting. The runners have seemed to mostly do some fairly similar strats here. It's interesting. It'll be interesting to see, how the strats differ. Because one of the really interesting things about Super Metroid is that there's so many ways to do each room, depending on your control scheme, what you're comfortable with, like how much you're willing to sacrifice consistency for saving frames or the other way around. That like every runner really has their own unique fingerprint, and even with a route that's so optimized and hammered out, like we can still see that showing up. So I'm excited to see how.
That's one of the things that I really, really love about just the speedrun on the Super Metroid side as Nevdi moves through the blue gate here. Is that uniqueness? Because you think, all right, there's going to be an optimal route. Everybody's going to try to go that one route. But there's always that little difference. It's just so cool. It's just something super unique, I think, about this game. Red Tower coming up for Nevdi first. This is always a fun one to see how it's going to go. And very clean.
And yeah, Nevdi actually doing kind of an interesting strat with the down grabs and a charge shot there, whereas ProfessorSchool does the shot down grab into wall jumps, which is kind of, I would say, the strat that I probably see most often. But that's an example, like we were just talking about, just the little differences in how runners do rooms. that really makes it like really like interesting to watch, even when it's like the same super optimized run. But yeah, now we're going up here. Our caterpillar's room climb. So yep, ProfessorSchool laying the power bomb a little bit higher here. I think getting some slightly reduced lag compared to Nevdi, making up a little bit of time. And now we are coming up to the first big hurdle of PRKD, the moat.
The big moat into West Ocean, and going for that little corner wall jump, or having to settle and do a bomb. So we're going to see Nevdi gets the missiles, and
he's got the setup.
Oh no.
So it looks like ProfessorSchool, he did not bonk the door entering, so he didn't get the normalized setup and just has committed to a horizontal bomb jump here. Ooh. A little bit off there. Nevdi gonna... Oh, no!
Oh, no!
Yeah.
All right, School's going for this... Nope, going for bombs again.
Yep. Yeah, I think there's a couple different schools of thought here. There we go. Prof making it across. And Nevdi also going to make it across the time. Excellent. But yeah, some people will do the in-room setup for the CWJ and just retry that. Whereas some people will just commit to horizontal bomb jump after missing it. But the continuous wall jump is very difficult. The first jump, no matter what setup you use, is one frame. You have to jump frame perfectly, very last frame before running off the ledge. And then if you set it up from outside the room, you have a 2-frame window to do the second jump. From in the room, you have a single frame, so it becomes double frame perfect. And then the horizontal bomb jump is not trivial at all either. It requires very specific bomb timings and positionings, and like what we saw from Prof there, if you're holding right when that second bomb goes off, it'll propel you in a weird way and you won't get bounced. And there are all sorts of little ways it can go wrong. And so, nice to see our runners recover, and we're into Fantoon here.
Yes, we start getting your usually traditional gambles in on, I guess it'd be closed now for mid-fast or slow, or whatever you hope your runner's going to get.
The first very nice air Doppler.
Yeah, very, very good move from Professor there. Nevdi not quite getting as much through. I think Professor's going to be able to close it out right on this Doppler, and yep.
Oh, he was 1 missile short. That's 1 missile short.
Oh, that is... Yeah, I hate to see that.
So what happened there was he started his Doppler just a little bit early. He needed to get 5 missiles in the super. He shot 5, but his first one was a little early and bonked the wall, and so he enraged Fantoon with that super. But he'll be able to clean it up here. Nevdi, meanwhile, has a chance at cleaning it up right now. Unfortunately, is going to miss, but gets a fast bailout, it looks like. Oh, Fantoon, what are you doing?
This is just
what we're talking about. Like, this guy is a jerk, and this isn't even the worst part of the run, honestly. Lower Norfair is worse.
Might be the most common run killer, just because this is the first kind of really big RNG hurdle where people would just say, all right, didn't get it, reset. But, but oh my gosh, this is... Nevdi finally closed it out. That was a bad thing on both ends, and it's a good testament to the idea that talking about the mental fortitude you've got to have in a race going on. Because at this point, you're not going for any kind of a PB so much as you just need to go faster than the other guy, right?
Yep, and you need to keep going and finish, exactly.
Right, and you don't necessarily know where they are. You know that you haven't had a good run, but, you know, maybe they also had a bad fan. Maybe they also missed going across the moat. But you may not have that in your head, so that continuous push to go forward, good on them for it. That's a lot more than I could ever do, but that's why they're running and I'm not.
All right, excellent attic out of Prof. Very, very clean. Both of the runners, funny enough, I think having basically the same resources leaving Fantoon. Nevdi may be having a little bit more energy, but otherwise, like, same ammo. So we do the power bomb. Okay, Nevdi actually does a mock ball under, and then missiles that atomic. Missiles these guys. We're gonna missile, super missile. All right.
Very sharp missile.
So I think we missed a missile or two there, but like still a very clean room. Hard to complain about that. Attic is another room where things can very easily go wrong. And then bowling here, actually, you'd think it's just a long room, but it's actually a pretty scary reset point. Those spikes do 60 points of damage when you're suitless. So if you are at full HP, you can take at most 3 hits. The goal is to make it across in 2, which Prof did, and did that little air ball into the statue's hands, which we're going to see
And
here from
Nevdi got
Nevdi
it too.
too.
Mhm.
Nicely done.
Speaking of, I talk about how, you don't know where the other guy is. You gotta, if you have a bad run, you still got to keep going. I look over in chat, and Nevdi's in chat. Slow down, please. Come on, focus on. I guess in bowling you can take some time to type in a chat, but that's when he's not typing. We know you're in bowling.
All right. So it looks like Prof grabbed his gravity at around 1450, maybe slightly before. And then Nevdi's gonna grab his. Looks like 1511. So we're at like a 20-second or so difference between the runners. We can know for sure if we can keep better track of the elevator here.
So what's the next fun thing that we get to look forward to? What's the next kind of good damage boost from Nevdi there? What's the next big hurdle the chat can look forward to?
So the next big hurdle is coming up in a little while. Well, thankfully, our runners got that break at bowling where they got to take a breath, stretch their hands, and now we're going to go through kind of a lower stress as far as like danger part of the game. This sort of shopping trip through Upper Norfair. We're going to pick up a bunch of items that we need to use down in Lower Norfair to go fast and kill Ridley. But the interesting thing about this segment, it's not very scary, like danger-wise, but it is just a place where it's so easy to lose a bunch of time. Upper Norfair is really a test of a runner's fundamentals. You have to just have like simple, clean movements throughout it, and it's less common to have like single big mistakes that lose you big chunks of time at once. But it's very easy to just bleed a second here, 2 seconds here, 30 frames here, and all of a sudden you've lost 15 seconds between the 2 elevators. So
when you go shopping, it can add up quick.
All right, both runners making me happy by jumping through to fix the door, entering Spazer, saving some frames for free. Grabbing that phaser beam, which we wouldn't see if this were a KPDR run. And yeah, as expected, Prof is going to go just straight down the elevator, no grade second. For either of these runners, they're just going to go. They know that they're close enough. They need every single second that they can get. Going to break that tube. And yeah, here we go. Getting that refill from the energy tank. Gonna grab my favorite item in a second here, the high jump boots.
It's a wonder, like once you get high jump boots and you've played so much with it. I just remember when I was, itty bitty little kid playing this game for the first time, and I got high jump boots, and then I just played with it forever, as you do. And then at some point, start a new game, have some fun, and I'm like, why am I not jumping so high? Why am I not moving so well? It's just so good.
Yeah, it can make your movement feel very unnatural. Not have it. Very clean mock ball into the ice area here. So we're gonna pick up our second beam now, which we need to finish the game. Oh, very nice damage boost.
Great damage boost. Love to see those little things that can make such a big difference, because they're so difficult to pull off.
Yeah, no, Prof made that damage boost look easy. I assure you, it is not. I, for one, cannot do it. I've done it maybe twice. And then, okay, this is a cool trick here. All right, Prof gonna.
Oops.
That's fine.
Oh no! I got the second freeze back. Or read to the
There we
first
go.
one. There's the
There we go. This is a trick that's very like it's a much better to like spend a little bit of time in the acid room there, making sure that you have a good setup, than to go through the door and miss it because every option you have from there is just very slow.
Ooh,
All right,
Nevdi also with the mock ball. Yep.
very nice. I think
Didn't even have to get the second freeze.
Yep, getting a bit of a faster setup, making up a little bit of time here. And let's see, gonna farm one power bomb from the Giga here. I think Prof may have farmed both. All right, very, very cool little farm strat there from Prof to get that waiver drop. I was kind of expecting him to use that waiver as part of like a set of ice stairs to get up. Oh, these are like really, Prof's resources are looking very, very good right now. 9 supers here is excellent.
That's exactly what you want to see. And I was expecting damage boost actually to come out of probably the waiver up top or the cat on Bubble Mountain, but we've also got Nevdi looking really good. He actually stopped a little bit there for a farm. Might know he's a little behind, but still wants to see if he can pick up maybe an extra super. But he got, I think it was just on missiles.
Yeah, I think you're right. He may have gotten 1 super, but I think it may have only been missiles and health. Ooh, very, very nice farm from Prof. Filling up on missiles and supers and just being able to go off of 1 farm. That is honestly not something that happens very often in this category.
Game is just gifting him a good run, at least at this part.
And I imagine both of these runners main picking up these wave missiles. We're not going to see any 1510s here, which is good, especially because it's a race. I'm definitely an advocate for 2010 in general, just because it gives you potentially a little extra damage on Ridley. And of course, it insulates you from that Turian RNG, because with that 1510 ammo, you need to be absolutely full, leaving Metroids 4, or you lose time, whereas this extra missile pack gives you a pretty decent amount of leeway. All right. And so you were asking about the next big hurdle we were going to face, and it is coming up right here in a couple of rooms. We are going to be going into the lava dive, which is how our runners, the entrance to Lower Norfair. There are 2 ways up this room. You can do a shine spark off of a damage boost, which is very difficult, or you can do a gravity jump, which is a little bit easier and more consistent. Well, it looks like Prof is just going to go for the gravity jump here, which totally understand. Lava Spark is fast, but it's also very dangerous, and if you miss it, like it can be a run killer. And so just gonna nice smooth gravity jump, get up there, and Prof is gonna press down, face forward on the elevator at 2216. Nevdi missing the spark charge is also just gonna go down here and gravity jump as well. Don't expect him to have really issues with this.
Yeah, certainly wanted to get the lava spark to help make up that time, but did not get that little short charge going. So still got the gravity jump perfectly well. And 2240 is when he hit that elevator.
All right, so interestingly here, we saw Nevdi, in addition to turning off Gravity Suit for that gravity jump, also turned off Spazer and Ice Beam, which reduces his damage, but it doesn't matter because you don't really, like, your full beam even doesn't do anything to most of the big enemies here in Lower Norfair. Very clean worst room from Prof. Wow.
That was slick. And yeah, that was a great use of the pause. It's like, well, if I'm going to be turning off gravity anyway, Nevdi does not get the pillar spark.
All right, just going to go with slow pillars. This is fine. It ends up losing a little bit of time later, but again, it's like if you miss it the first time, it's like you may as well just go. And is that high enough? Did we get? Oh, all right. Oh, careful, Nevdi.
It is aptly named. Oh, no.
All right, we've got the pirates really out of sync here. Nevdi does need to be...
Oh, this is terrifying.
Nevdi, please.
Oh, this is scary.
Oh, all right. Okay, Nevdi. All right,
Okay.
not quite out of. Oh
Oh
no!
no!
Nevdi taking a bonk from that pirate. Oh, that's really unfortunate. Yeah, as you can see, we call that worst room in the game for a reason. And like the strat going up the first time, if it goes right, it looks really easy, but like those pirates get the tiniest bit desynced, and especially Nevdi was in a position where he couldn't just reset the room because he had to use those power bombs um, in Pillar's room, and so just didn't have an extra power bomb to use,
Yeah.
unfortunately. And couldn't reset the room. Had to try and resync the pirates, and unfortunately, just took too much damage doing it. But still, some really great stuff on display from Nevdi. But Prof still needs to finish here. The run is very much not over. This guy right here is a big gatekeeper. Now Ridley's body deals 40 damage per hit, his tail does 30, and his flames do 15 and can potentially double hit you. So it is very important that you avoid damage in this fight, and at the beginning it tends not to be quite so bad, but as you deal damage to him and Ridley turns redder, he moves faster and more erratically, and you really have to like be confident at like doing that dance with him and like kind of controlling his movements.
Mm-hmm. There's a bit of control that you can have about what he does. You see people, weave under when he starts to pogo bounce on his tail to try to get into that optimal movement. But sometimes, man, he's just like, no, I'm just going to tail whip just over and over. This is what you get, and you're going to like it or not. I don't care. I'm Ridley.
All right, very nice. All right, Prof getting through that fight. Turning Ice and Phaser off now because we want them off for Meridia. And yeah, I like this play from Prof, especially knowing that all he has to do is finish. He can grab the Ridley tank here, and it's like be a lot safer escaping Lower Norfair, because like even after killing Ridley, it's like honestly this Lower Norfair escape can be even scarier because you have all of the red key hunters and the Disgigas in your way that do 40 or 50 damage, and if you take just one too many hits, because you don't have plasma beam in this route, you can't just kill them or hitbox through them, and like it's very easy for those hits to chunk you down. And like honestly, I think I've seen more top level runners die escaping Lower Norfair than in the Ridley fight.
I was going to say, the number of times that I've seen a good Ridley fight get completely nullified, good speedball, by like 3 Musketeers or something, is just too many to count. Yeah, that bomb was a little off, but like you said, Prof doesn't need to rush. Does want to go fast, we're not slow gaming, we're speed running. But absolutely take time, be safe. 1 hit, that is okay.
Yeah, the 1 bonk here is fine. 213 into Musketeers is enough that you feel fairly safe. Like, not to say that nothing can ever go wrong on this energy. Is Prof gonna? Oh, I think he was going to go for the pseudo screw, but then his setup got a little messed up. So just gonna go. I mean, so he does have 3 hits to spare on these key hunters here.
2 hits to spare. 1 hit to spare?
Oh, okay. So thankfully he was able to iframe through that second key hunter, and the third key hunter was out of the way. I was definitely holding my breath for a second, but Prof makes it out of Lower Norfair. So we are now. That's the next segment of the run. You're less likely to die than you are to just lose a ton of time, because Meridia equals time loss. First, we're gonna have to take a little pit stop and say hey to Kraid, but I mean, he's basically a footnote in this route. So
I do hear that he's got a little bit of damage reduction tucked behind him. A little helpful thing.
Yeah, so something that people who are new to this speed run will often ask, they like legitimately, is that gravity suit protects you from heat, from lava, from all of the things that you would normally pick up various suit to protect you from. Why do you bother picking it up in any percent? And the answer is that various suit has a very interesting property on Mother Brain. Her rainbow beam attack at the end of the fight, of the Mother Brain 2 fight, does not actually check for normal damage reduction. It only checks if you have Varia. So if you don't have Varia suit, it will do 600 damage instead of the normal 300 damage, and as a result, it's much faster for runners to just pick up Varia suit after beating Kraid, which they need to do anyway, then pick up 3 extra energy tanks, which would involve going well out of the way.
Absolutely. If nothing else than just, the chime reduction alone, but it's just one room over. It's just a little suit animation, and it saves so much going on. So going for the Kraid quick kill. 1, 2, 3, easy.
Very nice. Getting some lag reduction there too. We would have liked to see maybe a few more missiles, but 10 is like perfectly good for where we are in the run. And Prof is gonna also have full super missiles thanks to the mini Kraid refill. So it will be set up well for boss mode.
Dramatic suit change from purple to purple. You love to see it.
Oh, very nice damage boost out of there. A landing on that ledge right in front of the door is actually pretty difficult to do. So
Prof's gotten a few good damage boosts throughout. There was one in the Samus Eaters back up in Red Brinstar that he got. It was very, very slick with the 2 damage boosts to the room.
Mm-hmm.
He's been on point for that.
Yeah, just like that room, we call it Hellway because it's a terrible, terrible room, and it's really a testament to our runners' skill, like how easy they made that room look. Because I assure you, it is absolutely not. Did we get it? I think I saw a jump. Very nice.
Yeah.
That jump there is frame perfect. So Prof nailed that. It saves about like a second, maybe even closer to a second and a half to do that jump that way. Sparks up, and now we are going to see somebody who can, honestly, is one of those bosses who generally the fight is fairly scripted, but when it goes wrong, it goes very wrong. So I think Prof actually, he used to do the old D-Factor setup. All right, so we are going to see the D-Factor setup here. I know he's been working on a new setup that uses a morph to time the X particle. Really? But I guess he figured it was better not to switch to something that he's like a little less comfortable with. Yahtzee! Let's go.
Easy, right in. One more E-Tank. Just get the 4, play it safe. Who's in a rush, right?
Yeah, and also the refill here also super valuable because Dragon can potentially deal a lot of damage. Also, he's going to be doing this full happy here.
Happy. Beautiful.
And that drains about 130 energy. And because you're Shine Sparking Dragon and you have the risk of Dragon doing some extra damage to you if you kill her with a Shine Spark in the wrong way, that extra little bit of health is really helpful.
Not getting turret sniped, that's also been an unfortunate, I wouldn't say run killer. I'm sure there are some people who have come in here with a little bit too low health, and one of Dragon's turrets is just like, hey, how about we just give you a nice reset right about now? But
yeah, very inconvenient. 32 damage, which, while not a run killer, definitely can interfere with your fight.
Hey, that was a quad, yeah?
I think he bunked a couple of particles there. So this shouldn't kill her. We have to be a little mindful here. We're at a point where chain damage is possible, so I think Prof is probably just going to play it safe, killer with ammo and charge shots. Because yeah, he's forfeiting the ability to get that blue suit. He can still go for a spike suit here. But he gives up the blue suit. He's going to damage boost to get these drops. All right, 14-4 is pretty good. You'd like to see a couple more supers, but like 4 supers leaving here is absolutely serviceable. But yeah, since we weren't able to get the blue suit because it would have risked chain damage from Dragon, and weren't able to get that spike suit, we have to just go back across Coliseum the quote-unquote slow way, but ProfessorSchool definitely not making it look all that slow.
No, it's again just continuously good deboost. I'm always impressed by that. You were saying earlier how easy it looks when it is not, and like when I was first watching the speedrun side of Super Metroid, I'm like, oh wow, this is so cool, and they're doing these tricks and things look so neat. I want to try that. And I just got the biggest wake-up call as to how difficult this game can be mechanically.
Yeah, no, it is not a kind game. It is not forgiving. Like, and the run is so long that like mistakes you make in one part can carry very well. Nice save. All right. Very good game sense there, Prof. Not going for the early shot to open the door a little earlier. Realizing that he may have been a little bit short, so staying in spin to be able to save it with a wall jump, ultimately saving a ton of time. All right, so here we go up the elevator here.
It's another part where we can kind of lean back a little bit and relax, right? Because we're going to swing by, say hi to the ship. We've got to hit G4, all the bosses are dead, and then we get, oh, we thought the game was hard already, we get to go to Turian next.
Yep, not happy about taking that bonk from the Key Hunter there, but he does have a pretty healthy bit of energy here. Does he go for this morph ball here? Okay.
Just a little clip. Still gets the speed boost though. That's good.
Very, very nice. I like that. I like that alternative. That it's possible to do like an airball bounce into an unmorph blue keep, but it's tricky. It requires some precise inputs, and honestly, it doesn't save that much more time compared to what Prof did, which looks much easier and more consistent.
Yeah.
All right, so looks like we have a 36-48 G4 here. Prof gonna do some horizontal bomb jump practice. This is such a cool trick. It makes me upset every time that continuous wall jump is 2 seconds faster than horizontal bomb jumping. Just because the continuous wall jump is just like, yeah, you're jumping twice, whatever. Like the horizontal bomb jump it's an elegant tech. It's like so much cooler to watch. It in my opinion, like makes you feel so much cooler to do. It's just so sad that it's not also faster.
I like the uninterruption idea behind the continuous wall jump, like over Mo. You know, you go in, you just tap it, and you just keep going. It's just a single smooth thing. But there's something like bomb jump is so uniquely Super Metroid, and this 2D side of or Metroid overall, right? In this 2D side of things. And it's so cool to see people utilize it in such unique ways. Oh, missing one Metroid as we get into the first set here for Torian.
Okay, so getting some better drops from that last Metroid there. All right, 8
Super
supers.
missile.
This is all right. Okay, here we go. We're gonna group these Metroids up. Dealing with missiles. All right, so I think at this point, Prof is probably going to super here. Because 29 is enough that you will not lose time. Oh no, she's gonna missile. Wants to have that extra super just in case of a turret snipe. So with 26, you have 2 missiles of leeway. If you get a super sniped, you cannot kill Mother Brain 1. With 27, you have 5 missiles worth of leeway, or 2 missiles in a super. So, and again, like Prof right now cares just about finishing, and here we go with our Stachio skip. Prof using the bomb spread. 1 jump, 2 jumps, 3 jumps, and 4 jumps. Very nicely done.
Very, very slick. And it's always, I always hold my breath when the baby gets so close, even if it's like, it wasn't really that close. Something in the back of my head just says, okay, but what if it glitched and you come through and you're just moving super slow? You got to crawl your way over to the save spot. You got to restart the game. But like you said, at this point, it's just about finishing. So get a little Zeb skip through the wall.
Very nice down back there. That down back Zeb skip is only required if you have screw attack, because the normal method requires iframes. Prof saving 3 missiles here because it's a little faster. It's about twice as fast to use 3 missiles compared to a charge shot, and it's the same damage. But yeah, that down back is also something that you can do. It's a little bit faster, and I think looks significantly cooler than the normal method. So 60 shots here.
What do you not like on Mother Brain? Like, you've got to do your shots. She's throwing out meatballs. She's tossing onion rings. Later on, she brings the ketchup. What is just your least favorite Mother Brain attack to just deal with?
I personally hate the onion rings the most because they ignore iframes, and the really nasty thing about them is that they only do 20 damage each, but if she hits you with the first one in a set, it's very likely that the other 3 will hit you, which is 80 damage, which is a lot. So what I generally like to see in a Mother Brain fight is her dropping like a meatball, and then
good move,
and then like 1 set of onion rings. Yeah, that first catch-up is the scariest one because you can never quite predict when it's going to come out. Like if she has a bomb out, like when you hit shot 46, it can be a little easier. But yeah, she kind of telegraphs her movements, but sometimes she acts a little weird. All right, very nicely done from Prof, though.
Just
clean,
the perfect amount. You want to have those 3 tanks and change.
I think he took just one hit from a bomb, and that was it. Very, very nice. And so yeah, you need to damage down, which is probably something Prof isn't the most used to, considering he normally 3 tanks. But remembered here, now we get another. This is another moment where, like bowling, where you kind of get a little bit of time to just like breathe, like let the adrenaline dissipate a little bit, like stretch your hands, take a sip of water.
Make sure you hydrate, chat.
Yeah. Always drink water. Water is good.
Water's so good. You can have other stuff too, but also have water.
But yeah, so the dangerous part of the fight is over for the most part. Like, not that it's impossible to die on Mother Brain 3. Obviously, like, she still does damage, but like Mother Brain 2 is scary because if she takes you below 300 damage at any point before that rainbow beam, like you cannot finish the fight because it's a guaranteed 300 damage.
That's it. You're done. The run's done.
All right.
Not the baby.
So Mother Brain destroying the baby. Samus obtaining the hyper beam. 36 shots, and she is down.
No noob corner for Prof. He's just going to take a really efficient route, dodge the meatball very well, dodges the onion rings too. And just keep her from doing anything if you can ever help it, and set a little tap there. That's okay. Right. Still a good clean fight.
Yeah.
Now just need a clean escape
at the end, but yeah, very, very nice. Oh, come on, Prof. Let's go.
Let's close it out.
So close. One of those attempts, I think, was very, very close. He was going for the Mother Brain short charge, which is... It's a stupid short charge. I think it's 12 tiles. It requires, like... I think it requires, like, a triple stutter 4 or something. And one of them, he definitely got fairly close, I think. Alright, jumping through, iframing through this pirate. Going up. Prof does not do the early shot to open the door. But we're gonna do this moonfall.
Very slick moonfall. Good movement all around. Like we say, you know, he just has to finish. But he is schmoovin', man.
Yeah, beautiful. Just a beautiful Leodox room. Beautiful Behemoth Spark. It's like this is really what you love to see when you're commentating a Super Metroid run.
Minimal steam. See ya, animals. We are saving frames.
Alright, and looks like we did maybe get a scam steam, and GG to ProfessorSchool.
Good game. I collected about 44.57.
Well, the official race time, GG time, is 44 minutes and 58 seconds. Very, very well done.
Good game.
Good game, Prof.
Also, congrats again to Prof on your very recent PB. And for Nevdi for coming in, doing all that you could until that worst room in the game, scamming. But thank you very much to both runners for coming in, giving us a wonderful, wonderful race tonight.
All right. So yeah, let's see. Gonna see if we can get our runners in here for a post-match interview here. I think we've got both of them joining, and we've been joined by Nevdi, and I believe shortly we'll be joined by ProfessorSchool. GG's Nevdi.
GG? Sorry, I came up because I thought Prof was going to come up. Now I'm just like standing here, deer in the headlights. Hello, Prof, come up.
Come on, Prof. It's okay. Runs are done.
All right, I think he'll
First to the interview, though. So how about that? First to the interview. Does that count?
I mean, counts for the interview race, right?
The interview race.
Here we go. Hey, Prof, welcome.
Hey, y'all. What's up?
Yeah, GG's.
Thank you, Nevdi. I'm really sorry about your map rando, man.
Huh? Oh, before no, I wasn't playing a map rando. I was getting Zeb to watch it, and then QZ comes in my chat. He's like, "Yo, Nevdi, you racing?" I'm like, "No, that's in a day." He's like, "No, it's not. It's right now." So I'm like 24 hours off, but I wasn't racing.
Man.
So I just told Zeb to get out. I got more important things to do. My boy Prof needs a race.
Well, I'm sorry about the miscommunication.
No, that's all me. It's all me. It's fine.
I was watching the stream, but I missed what happened in LN. It was before Ridley. Was it Wasteland? What happened?
It was worst room in the game, so I missed the wall jump. But generally, I fail that so often that I have a decent backup. But in this case, the top pirate didn't move No, he moved back from the left to the right, and I couldn't do my backup, so like got out of control. Eventually I made it out, and I'm like, sweet, I'm home free, no worries. And then I like fall into amphitheater and hit that pirate. Did not expect to die that way.
No!
Barely.
I was home free. I'm like, yeah, I got up. I did a sick backup. Let's go.
You made it out, but you made it out with 13 health, and that was not quite going to cut it for that first pirate.
False safety sense. I thought it was all over.
Oh, goodness gracious. I'm sorry, man. That's a bummer. I had a little bit of a difficult early game, just literally climbing Parlor, and I fell behind you. And then it looks like we both really struggled on Fantoon. We both didn't get across the moat first try. We both struggled on Fantoon. I counted my missiles right. I got a 7 air Doppler, and I got flame laned. And then in second round, I just needed 5 and 1, and I thought I had gotten 5 out, and the first one must have hit the wall or something. So I enraged essentially, right? And and then it looks like you had a pretty rough time. But still, like we were within we were within a baby skip the whole way through. I had some ice escape problems, and I think you were within like 20-25 seconds entering LN. And it was pretty hype. I was like, this is going to be a great finish, right? This is like execution now. And just,
this is our race. You know, we both succeed or shamble the same and enter that mid-game the same. But yeah, just unfortunately today I couldn't keep it going, I guess. Like we normally, in our normal races, we keep
like you and I normally do, right? Yeah, we normally stay so close. Oh, man, bummer. Yeah. Well, I appreciate the race. Thanks, Nevdi.
No, thanks as well, Prof. I mean, I think that you put a pretty good time in here for a race that's hard for me to capture and finish out as close or as tight as you did there, but it's still not cool that I didn't get to like put a show on and like have a really close one. So I do feel bad about that, but I also think that you probably would have had it anyway. It seemed like you played pretty clean towards the end of it, but just upset that I couldn't get a nice finish with you because we normally have awesome races.
Yeah, and I didn't know what I was going to do, because if you were breathing down my neck, depending on health drops at Ridley, I may have skipped the tank, and I had the stream open, and I saw that you had died and forfeited just as I was finishing Ridley, and I had like 180 health. I was like, oh, this is not worth it. I'm picking up this tank.
Yeah, gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, and it was funny, you mentioned breathing down my neck, and it's usually the other way around. You usually run me down. So it was like roles reversed. It was interesting to see how that was going to go. I mean, I guess this is how it went, but you know, it was a different thing that we're used to, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah, just like it was really unfortunate to see those like that worst room in the game unfortunately living up to its name, because it was, like you're both saying, it was such a close, exciting race. Like you were within 20-25 seconds, which, as we all know, is nothing in this route, especially before Meridia. Yeah. But yeah, it was just like up to that point, it was just like amazing to watch. You both are like such great runners with such like strong movement. And yeah, Prof, when you went to do that Doppler on Fantoon, your first missile was just a little bit early and bonked the wall. And then yeah, it was like only the 4 hit in the Enrage. But yeah, that early game in this category sucks, man.
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, honestly, like I've gotten very, very good at the 7 missile air Doppler, and that buys me a lot of luxury because I can do things like eat a flame lane. It's just in this particular case, I have a nice visual cue, and I was just a little, I don't know, I'm nervous during races, and I just went a little fast. The same thing happened with my Dragon. Like my setup for the Azul Dre, like I just jumped early before the particles came, and so Dre's health was like a couple hundred left, and that's why I needed to clean it up sort of in the ugly way that I did. It was one of the only late game like big errors that I had. But yeah, I just think you're a little nervous, you know, you go a little early. It's the same reason I fell in Moat. My first and second bomb were good. My third bomb was too early, and I just whiffed it and went into the Moat, right? So it's all those little things when you're just a little bit nervous. Nevdi and I have talked about this before. You're just nervous enough. Your inputs are just a little fast, right? And that stuff really matters, and this category is like the best demonstration of why those timing and those cues matters, because if you don't, you get completely punished in this category by that.
It's crazy. It's like a slight little bit of like difference in your speed matters so much, and it's not like cool, you missed that, you lose a second. It's like you're in trouble. It's so
seriously
hard. So yeah, for sure. And same with me with bomb jumps too there. I mean, I missed the CWJ frame, which is whatever, but yeah, the bomb jump timing, I never really failed that, so it was just interesting to see both of us fail, you know, a bit of nerves or whatever it might have been, but at least we did it together and we got across similar times. But yeah, it's funny how it works out.
All right, so yeah, it just a real joy to watch such excellent play. Prof, you your next match looks like you are going up against the only known human being to do the complete in-room setup for Bomb Teresa Skip, Drewski. So I think that you are probably looking at being the underdog in that race. But how are you feeling going into that? What are you looking to do there? You know, how are you feeling in general about your tournament and how it's gone so far? And
I mean, it's been the tournament's been the tournament itself. The performances in the races have been kind of rough. I've only made it cleanly across the moat once in 10 attempts, which includes, 7 qualifying races and 3 tournament races. It was just the one against Zost. But the grind related to the tournament has been excellent. I brought my PB down like 2 minutes since the qual started. I've been kind of crushing it. It feels really good. So I'm just going to keep trying to get more consistency and continue to play better. I feel grateful to make it this far. I had to get through some tough people, including both and Nevdi, and I happened to get the better of that situation. But really, those 2 races can be anybody's game. As far as Drewski goes, he's extremely talented. Has an insane array of strats at his disposal. I'm super impressed by him, and I think he's an awesome member of the community. If I have any hope whatsoever, I think it's that of the top runners pushing those top times, I think maybe just because he hasn't been doing it as long, his consistency and comfort might just be slightly lower in a tournament setting. That might just me be painting a pleasant picture for myself in the face of a pretty big underdog matchup, right? For a guy who's pushing 40. But I guess, look, I'm going to go out there. It's kind of a no-lose situation. It's a difficult category. I think I'm a good enough runner, and I showed this against Zost, that you can't, like, if I had not died on Dragon, that race against Zost would have been really close. And I didn't get to say this in the interview, but, like, I don't know. I wasn't offended that he ran hybrid route. I think it was a good decision. But if you do run a route that's not the optimal route and things don't go quite well and you end up losing a minute or 2 on your PB, I'm good enough now that, like, I could conceivably pop out of 42 at any time, right? So I feel like I put enough pressure at this point on the top runners that they need to go run the dangerous route and perform. That's not me saying that I can compete. That's not me saying that I can beat them even maybe 1 time out of 10, but it means that there's at least enough pressure there to where they need to be on their game, and I think that that's pretty cool, and that's a testament to the effort that I've put in, and I expect that he will probably win that match anyway. Right? So I have nothing but respect for everyone that I've raced, Zos, Nevdi, and now Drewski. It's great that I have the chance to race him. When I started in this community, he was still playing SMB3 or whatever, SMB1. So it's cool that he's here. It's cool that I get a chance to race someone, another person who has a 40 or going for a 40, and I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be great.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to watching for sure. Yeah, I guess on that note, we do have some more races coming up this weekend that are going to be every one of these is going to be a banger of a race. So tomorrow at 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern, we have Raison versus Zost, which is going to be like a really exciting race to watch. Raison is another player who can absolutely put pressure on somebody like Zost, and just a very strong runner. At 3 p.m., we have versus Supreme. So the first of our KPDR versus PRKD races. I'm excited for that one particularly, Prof, because you and I are going to get to comment together. And then if you haven't gotten enough of my voice by then, I will also be calming Stashio versus Moku at 4 p.m. tomorrow, US East, with Raison. That'll be another really exciting KPDR versus PRKD matchup, which honestly I think, as fun as it is to watch races like this one where you see 2 people just bashing their heads into the optimal route and somehow coming out ahead, it's like the PRKD versus KPDR matches are they just give you kind of a huge array of a demonstration of what you can do in any percent in this category, which is so cool. But yeah, so please tune in tomorrow if you want to see more excellent Super Metroid. The tournament is only going to get better from here, and considering how great it's been so far, that's hard to imagine. But yeah, I guess that's enough waxing poetic for the moment for me. Nevdi, Prof, any final thoughts before we give the good people of Speedgaming their channel back?
Thanks.
Go ahead, Nevdi, please.
Sorry. We do this all the time. Sorry. Thank you so much for comms. Thanks, Prof, for the race. Thanks for putting on the tournament. Thanks is my words. I'm just so grateful this exists, and I'm really happy. So that's it.
Yeah, and you know, Nevdi took the words right out of my mouth. Thank you for the race, Nevdi. It's a pleasure as always. To both Exact and Valerian for the comms, QZ and Zenny, and everyone else. I'm forgetting people when I'm put on the spot, but it's an excellent tournament. I love this community. The tournaments are what make everything special. So yeah, looking forward to my next match, and well, I guess we'll see you guys next mission.
All right, Val. Any final thoughts from you before I send us home?
Nothing you haven't said before. If y'all want to see some more, then come in tomorrow for the next 3 games.
All right, excellent stuff. Yeah. So yeah, GG's Prof, GG's Nevdi. Thanks, Val, for being my co-com. It's always nice to have somebody else up here to yap my gums with. And yeah, thanks to the organizers. Make sure that you follow Nevdi, follow ProfessorSchool, follow myself and Val if you want to. But Prof and Nevdi are really better at this game than I am, so follow them if you want to watch good Super Metroid. But yeah, just keep watching this tournament. It's only going to go up from here. We will see you next mission.